briefly talking about Rebecca coming on LNP, the LNP show. I like to say TED Talks on LNP. Really excited to have her up in the queue. She's coming on in the next 30 seconds. I don't know where else to go. We've got like I said, we got so much to talk about. Want to thank our sponsors. Well, the people are not quote unquote our sponsors, but folks that are in our corner. Want to thank the good friends at the WWE Network. Want to thank one of these wonderful authors has just sent me a book on sexual addictions. We're going to have them on in 2016. This is our next to last show. I'm going to stop talking. I'll decrease, and I'm going to allow my guest to increase because she's none other than Rebecca Berman. Rebecca, how you doing?
Good. How are you tonight?
Pretty good. I'm charged up. I had tech difficulties, and Rebecca, it's pretty hard because I've been in IT for 20 years, and I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh, no. I think it's something that never ends.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. But less about me, more about you, because the one special thing I say about Late Night Parent is I usually, at certain times, I turn my mic off because the guest is the star of the show. And I want to learn about the cooler. I want to learn about what has inspired you. But before we do anything, I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining us. You took the time out of your evening. You could be doing anything. You could be at the mall right now, doing some last-second shopping with the rest of the crazy people out there.
Yes, exactly. But thank you so much for having me on tonight.
No problem.
As I like to say, because my show's called The Cooler, this is very cool.
So tell our listeners about you, your inspiration, the cooler, what's on the horizon for 2016. I'm hitting the mute button, and there you go. Okay.
So a little bit about me. I've done a lot of lifestyle reporting, and I love listening to people's stories and adding a little bit of humor into my stories that I report on. And I was blogging for a long time and still do. And I'm passionate about food amongst many other topics. But that was kind of how I got my start. And from all the lifestyle reporting I was doing, I realized that I really wanted to have my own interview show. And there is the birth of The Cooler. So The Cooler is a colossal cooler. It's kind of like my sidekick, my shtick, so to speak.
Okay.
And I pull different unpredictable things out of the cooler as I'm talking to my guests. They can be improvisational. They can be promotional as it relates to the cooler. But in addition, I always like to keep a little sense of humor in them. So the colossal cooler is like the size of a coffee table. It's something I can sit on. We can do yoga on. We can do, cook a meal on it. So it is a lot of fun, and a lot of different things can come out of it. And it's just kind of like another, a sidekick, like any other kind of talk show. But the cooler allows me to continue to talk to different guests and hear their story and have an element of fun. So we are gearing up to make it, to get on national TV for 2016, and we're very excited about it. And in the meantime, we've been doing a couple of podcasts. So, we can still get our word out there about the cooler.
Hey, Rebecca, I got to jump in here and say, where can I find the podcast?
Oh, certainly. You can reach me at Twitter, Rebecca Berman TV. You can reach me on Instagram, Rebecca.Berman. You can reach me on Facebook, Rebecca Berman TV. You can reach me at my website, RebeccaBermanTV.com. And there you can find all of my podcasts and all of the upcoming information about my national TV show.
So it's a national show that you're going to be doing.
Yes.
I know, filmed in Westchester, New York?
Well, it's really one of these kinds of things that make the element of surprise with the cooler. it is filmed kind of all over the New York tri-state area, but
Okay.
it might even be traveling. And the beauty about the cooler is it gets a little bit of a reality into the show, because you can do it in a mall. You can be at the cooler on the show in the mall. You can be in a hotel. You can be in a restaurant. You can be in a bakery. You could literally be anywhere with the cooler, talking to people and hearing their story and entertaining the audience. So we like to say it has a little bit of reality in it, in addition to the scripted, regular chatting and the regular interview. So I'd like to say it's New York tri-state based to begin, but we'll see where it takes us.
Got you. I'm going to say this much. If you have that New York flow that I notice that you do, it's going to transcend wherever you go. So that's going to be great about it.
Yes, I agree. It is a novelty idea. Something no one else is doing.
That really is. So I gotta throw something out here, because this is the cooler. This is Late Night Parent. We're talking about shows that are on the horizon for 2016.
Yes.
I gotta go to politics. Do you want to go to politics?
You can give it a whirl. We'll see where I go with it.
All right. I'm just gonna throw out here.
Okay.
Tell me your thoughts about the comment that was made, that the disgusting comment that was made by one Donald Trump, and I'm going to stop, because you're going to say which disgusting comment that was made.
Well, if you're referring to the one that they kept referring to on the news in the last 24 hours, I still have yet to hear what the comment is he made about Hillary in her last campaign events against Obama. They keep referring to it, but they never say what it is that Trump said.
Yes. Okay.
And do you know what it is that he said, or is it only me who's in the dark?
No, well, kind of on this one. He used a certain word that was inappropriate,
right,
about Hillary. And I was just, kind of sitting there saying, okay, when does this reality show stop?
Right. He's so out there, and just like when you're looking at politicians, he doesn't resemble one. He resembles, certainly an outspoken CEO of a company. He, resembles an outspoken individual with a huge following, but he doesn't strike me as the person I want to look up to politically. And, that's just, again, my opinion. I'm not a very political person. I don't get that involved. As you could see, I didn't even know what the thing is that he said.
Right.
I really didn't dig further to figure out what it was. But, I do understand his appeal to the people out there that are just so fed up with the world, and they always are looking to blame people for problems, and they don't see the light and understand that, you can control your own destiny. And he speaks to all of those people that don't feel they can control their own destiny and like to blame things on other people. And there's always a population of people like that out there. I'm just not from that world. So politically, that doesn't help me. So, if you get what I mean.
I got what you mean, and I'm totally with you on that one. I've got to change it up a little bit. I'm going to say to you something I tweeted out to you a few minutes ago.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Am I coming through clear or no?
Yeah, no. I hear you. I just didn't read the tweet.
no, it's okay. Oh, no, okay. What I tweeted you was, could you tell me your best Christmas present that you've ever received?
Oh, gosh. Well, it's kind of, Christmas, I kind of celebrate it. I kind of don't. Okay. But if I'm to think of one that I've ever received, I have a sister-in-law who's Italian, and she celebrates Christmas. And I would say just sharing Christmas with her and her mom over the years was a really special Christmas present, because it is not I wasn't brought up celebrating Christmas. It's not something I normally have done in my life. So I think that's my present, probably the best present I've ever gotten, spending time with family who does celebrate Christmas. And it is, you know, a really special day and holiday, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of.
See, and that's the trick in my question, Rebecca, was, you know, a lot of people would think it's something specific. It's
right,
like
I got
an
a sweater. Well, you know, it could be that. I will say, you know, you get to a certain point, and I think material things, you know,
they don't matter.
They don't. They matter, but they don't matter. It's like, oh, what was the best gift you ever got? I don't know what the best gift I ever got. You know, I think my life has gone much further than just like a material gift.
Right. Right.
So it's kind of.
It's so funny because I kind of, you know, the older I get, I'm in my mid-40s now, and I kind of sit there and say, okay, I look at my kids and I say, okay, when they were younger, Christmas was about 5 minutes.
Right.
They're sitting there, they're tearing apart the gift wrapping paper and everything else like that. And once they you know, receive the present, and then I don't want to say 30 days later it's broken, but
but it is.
You know,
if I do go back in time, I will tell you, I once got a Barbie dream house for the holidays, and I will say I loved that Barbie dream house. It had the elevator, and it had the 3 different floors and the furniture, and Barbie would sit on the couch. I mean, that, you know, was like it for me. I go back to when I was a kid.
I remember when I was a kid, and I was received a train set. And we were sitting there, my father and I, and we're sitting there and building the train. No, it wasn't a Lionel train set. So everyone listening, no, it wasn't some $10,000 train set. No. It was something you get out of Toys R Us.
Wait, was it Thomas the Tank?
No, it wasn't that. But that's kind of, you know, I kind of think back to things like that. And as I get older, I'm like, oh, it's so different because right now, like my wife and I, she's like, oh, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, nothing material at all. And I kind of get that strange look.
Right.
Because I'm like, no, I'm serious.
Well, it's like, you know, you can't remember what the things are that you got. So I feel like, you know, it's always fun to get presents. Everyone loves that. But, you know, when you think about it, like just briefly, you're like, I don't know, maybe I got a really nice bracelet I liked, but when you think of something like a time in your life, and I like you and I are sitting here chatting about it, I'm like, that Barbie dream house was just really everything.
Oh my goodness! So Rebecca, tell me, either within your podcast or within your first season, what type of stars, what level of stars are you looking to have on your show?
Oh, well, you know, I will say, first of all, it's really, and you know, interviewing people, it's such a better interview when the person is used to being, you know, in some form of celebrity-ness, where they're used to being out there and performing in some way, shape, or form, because they are a better person to interview. But on the flip side of that, I think the best interviews are people who have interesting stories to tell. And whether it be a celebrity, whether it be a chef, whether it be someone who wrote a book, whether it would be, you know, a spiritual thinker, whether it would be, you know, a woman who's made great breakthroughs just because I'm a woman, you know, a woman who's made great breakthroughs in her career. I love all of that kind of, and I love any type of singer, anyone who can sing. I love people who can sing, love people who are comedians. You know, those are all the different categories that, you know, I really get excited about interviewing. But I got to tell you, I can find a story in just about anyone, and I, you know, I enjoy it. So It's just like part of my nature. It's not even something I have to work at. I hope that kind of answers your question.
Oh, it does. I do have one more professional question to ask you, but I just want to let everyone know you're talking to Rebecca Berman. This is Late Night Parent. You can find her on Rebecca Berman TV. .com, or you can follow her on Twitter, Rebecca Berman TV, or the public figure. I mean, I did a quick search, and I pulled your name on Facebook, Rebecca Berman, public figure. I was like, no, well, you know what? That's cool. I was like, that's pretty darn cool.
They don't give you many options. I think you can either click off entertainer or public figure. So I think when I first did it on Facebook, I wrote public figure. But now that was probably, a year and a half ago, and I really do need to switch it because I think it's more entertainer than public figure.
Got you.
But it's kind of comical. Everyone makes fun of me, so it's a good reason to, to
laugh.
No,
that's great. That's great. So tell me this much. Two things.
Yeah.
The first thing I'm going to ask you is, where are you located? So you're going to be doing shows, I know nationally, but do you see that you're going to be doing shows in the 5 boroughs?
I am based out of Westchester, but I do a lot of like one of the episodes we filmed for the TV show The Cooler, we filmed in Ridgewood, Queens. So I definitely get around the boroughs, so to speak. So
great.
You never know where I might turn up with my cooler.
When did you come into Long Island?
We haven't gotten there yet, but we might.
When you come out to Long Island, you let me know, because I'm right here in Uniondale, Long Island, not far from the Nassau Coliseum. But the question I have for you is, tell me about the time when you had to carry an interview. How tough was it? When you get that person that you're interviewing and they just lock up.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yes or no. And you're just like, oh, my God.
Well, I got to tell you, I actually did a little bit on somebody's TV show thing. And I was the person they were interviewing. And it was like a little food segment. And I got to tell you, they didn't know anything. Like, they didn't know what to ask me or how to handle anything. I just started improvisationalizing the food I was doing, and I was making up stuff as I was going along. And I think that probably was my toughest interview, even though somebody was interviewing me, because I really felt I had to carry it. I had to turn it into a whole segment. And that's been my biggest challenge, that interview. Because I don't know what happened with the host. They were kind of sick that day. It seemed like they didn't really know what they should be talking about, and I just carried the whole interview. I love doing improv, and I love making stuff up. So those are my fortes. So I literally could be talking to someone who has nothing to say, and I'll turn it into like a whole funny bit.
I think I have a caller. I'm going to see if I can bring him on, okay?
Sure.
Good evening. This is Late Night Parent Radio. I have Rebecca Berman on the line. Is this a caller? You have a question?
Oh, this is Stacy. Stacy Face. I was calling in.
Hey, Stacy, how you doing? Okay,
I'm
you're
good.
in the queue, all right? Thanks again. Hold on. Rebecca, I got to say, number one, I love your energy. I want to see the cooler. I want you to definitely come back on. And if there's any way we can help cross promote or anything that you would need, you say so, because this is great. Alicia, as usual, Miss Stern is dead on, because she's a great person.
She's awesome.
She is really awesome, and I got to tell you, deal. She is really. I mean, oh my goodness, she really is. She's a great person.
She is the real deal. I love her. She's amazing. Her and I are so on the same plane. It's not even funny. Or and I.
That is great. So, I guess I want to say, number one, for the holiday season, once you have a happy holiday season, because, certain people celebrate Christmas and they celebrate Kwanzaa and Hanukkah, and I just want to say to you, happy holidays.
Thank
and
you.
all the best with you and your family, that you enjoy the time together. And I don't need to tell you, it's not about materialistic items or anything else like that.
Yes.
Because, you're there. You're there and you already know. So tell us the best ways to get in contact with you, plug your show. All the stuff.
Well, I'll just, repeat all of my stuff. You can follow me on all of my social media sites to find out when the show will be airing. Not only the podcast, but the national television show, which we're, in the process of getting going on TV to hit in 2016, the cooler. So you can follow me at Twitter at Rebecca Berman TV. You can follow me on my website, RebeccaBermanTV.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Rebecca Berman TV, and Instagram, Rebecca.Berman.
Rebecca, I want to give you a round of applause.
Okay. It was great talking to you, and wishing you the best holiday.
Same here. All the best, and a little late, a little slow. I told you it was coming. I'm like, okay, you up